be talking about the viola. Okay. So this is just a quick diagram of the anatomy of the viola. So this picture has a little bit different words for the fingerboard. Most people call it fingerboard. This diagram calls it the neck. It's interchangeable. So here we have the scroll, the pegs, and then these are the fine tuners. The pegs and the fine tuners are obviously the tuning apparatuses, and how you go about tuning the instrument with what apparatus can kind of vary sometimes. So if you're only like a half step off, you'd use the tuners. If you're a whole step off, you'd use the pegs. And then here we have the tailpiece, which is what attaches the strings to the instrument. This is the chin rest, which was invented by someone who we've all heard of. His name was Louis Sapor in 1820s. He invented the chin rest during the Baroque era because he understood that it's very difficult to play without a shoulder rest or a chin rest, and we want to move our hands. So he decided to add the chin rest for us, which is great. The F-holes, which is where the sound is projected from. And fun fact, if you sing into the instrument and you're in tune, it'll sing back to you, which is a great way to know that you're in tune with yourself or not. And then the bridge, which should always be straight. If the bridge is not straight on the viola or a violin or a cello or a bass, it will affect your tuning, it'll affect how the bow bounces, it'll affect everything. And then of course we have the bow. So this is a bow. This is what we call the tip because it's a tip, and I believe that my particular bow is a duckbill tip. There are many different ones that have traveled throughout history, which this is the frog. And how you can tell the difference between a violin and a viola bow is a violin bow will be more pointy. It'll have more of a 90-degree angle, whereas a viola will be more curved. So just for reference again, kind of see. This is the tuning, this is the tightening screw, which is how you adjust the bow hair. Your hair should not be more than, mine's a little loose right now, than your pinky. So this is a quick fingering chart for if you've never seen a fingering board before. We don't have keys or valves or anything to press, so all of our positions are quote-unquote relative. The great thing about this fingering chart is that it kind of gives you an idea of where the main finger positions are. And then it also describes why you might need to change specific fingers for different areas. And we'll come back to this chart in a second. So if you look at your handout, you will see that I have provided a quick little, fun little alto clef reading guide. Find alto clef extra great. I love the positive energy, which is actually that's actually the polyrhythm that I used when I was learning alto clef. So the D major scale is the easiest to learn on because it has the same fingering patterns on adjacent strings. So if you look back at this little chart, if you look back at this chart, you can see that in relation to where the whole steps and the half steps are, that your fingerings will change. So a young student could have a lot of difficulty remembering, am I in high third finger or low third finger? So that's why the D major scale is typically the easiest. So now I'm going to play you a D major scale. So that was from D in bass clef to D4, D5 on treble clef, which is not the full range of the instrument, but it is the most used range. Higher positions that require shifts are also very difficult as it requires a new fingering pattern. Like for example, if I were to shift on the G string, what I played earlier was G, A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G. Now all of a sudden the fingering pattern has changed on the same string in difference in relative to the hands. The history of the viola, it is the oldest of the string family, and what I've learned from Dr. Kimber is that actually the entire string family is based off of the viola. The most major predecessor was the viola da braccio, which means viola of the arm, which is similar to a viola da gamba in that they both have 7 strings. The viola da braccio has 7 strings and the viola da gamba has 6, I'm sorry. And it was invented in the 16th century. So again, the range of the instrument, it ranges from low C in bass clef, so over here, to top note D above the treble clef, so right around there. And it's important for your viola students to be able to read both alto and treble because most viola music is written in treble clef. This piece here you can see has some treble clef in it. So that is in correlation to the grand staff where the open strings are. So in bass clef we have C3, G3, A4, and then D. So now I'm going to play you a section of Hondoshkin's concert, Viola Concerto, which this is a good demonstration because it goes from the low D to the high D. The half step changed because of the temperature of the room. So really, that was just a really quick demonstration of from the C string to the A string. On your handout, you can look at it with just going over from a range from low C in the bass to high D above the treble clef, which is why it's easy to understand in a music teacher's perspective why this is the alto voice of the instrument. The bow hold, which is the only thing we have not gotten to on the handout yet, should be very easy, should be very loose. It should not, it's a bow hold, not a bow grip, is how a lot of teachers like to describe it. So when you have a bow, I'm actually going to give this to you. So this is my real bow.
Yep.
And I'm going to give you the viola one, not the violin one.
Okay.
So you want your thumb here, and then your hand should just wrap around naturally. And your pinky should be kind of on this little dent.
Okay.
And you're obviously using the right hand. Josie remembers how difficult this was.
Yeah.
Because I'm just a very rigid person, so I have a hard time with
That is a major problem with a lot of students, not just you. All right, so that is the beautiful viola, the alto voice of the string family, and the predecessor to the violin, and superior in many ways, and superior to the cello and the bass in many ways.
Disagree.
All right.
Thank you.